Hey guys, so let me introduce you to NetBeans. NetBeans is very likely going to be our primary IDE in the lab this year, and I've used it for 6 years, so I know a lot of the ins and outs of it. Now, ignoring the sidebar up here because I've already got this set up a little bit, yours should be blank. And there's really two structures you need to know about in this IDE: projects and programs. Now, projects, they're kind of up to you. You're going to need at least two throughout the year, but right now you only have to have one. Some students like to group their files in different ways. As you can see right here, I took this idea from some of my students over the last few years. I've just got all our units set up as a project. They're all empty, but as we add more programs, I can just store them in the right unit. You do not have to do this. If you name your files appropriately, you may only have one or two projects all year long because we still have naming conventions to deal with those as well. But let me show you how to do them because you have to have one to get started. So I come up here to the orange box and I go ahead and click it. Obviously we're in Java and I leave it as a Java application and I just hit next. Now to name this project, I've got a few options, okay? Because the only thing that limits me at this step is the Windows terminal. So Windows names can be anything you want. Letters, numbers, spaces, special characters. I can name it whatever I want. This is just a demo, so I'm gonna just call it that. The important thing I need to do before I hit finish though is I need to uncheck this box. Once I do, I hit finish. Okay, now over here on your sidebar, you'll see that now you have a folder. That's your project. Okay, now I'm not going to go in there because there's nothing in there. But now let's make a program. So I come up here to the white box, and then if you have multiple projects, you have to deal with this. If not, you can leave alone. Make sure your project folder is the one you want. Okay, I'm still in Java, and then at the very bottom, I jump down to empty Java file. These have extra things in there, some built in, some that make sense, some that are going to be confusing. Empty file is just that. It's empty. I go to next, and this is where I get to name the program. This is my class name. This is the one that matters. Now, the only things that I'm allowed to use with this name are letters, numbers, and the underscore. The first character has to be a letter, but after that, I can use any of those combinations. So let's just do hello world. Okay, I'm going to put an underscore in there just to emphasize it. What's important to know here is you just have to remember this name. Yes, you can read it in a second, but remembering it saves you some time later on. I'm going to hit finish and let it pop up as an empty screen. Okay, let me zoom in for you guys too. All right. First thing we need for all your programs this year is header. Okay. First line, your name. Second line, my name. And then whatever class period you have. Fifth period, A day. Now this one is optional, but a couple of my students have said they enjoy this, and it helps them find any problems. Brief description. So in this case, this is just a demo, hello world. Okay. Okay. At least 2 lines, third one's optional. Okay. The next thing I'm going to add is our import statement. Now, if you're watching this at the very beginning of the year, we haven't covered this, but we get to it before we're out of Unit 2. So I'm going to include it here because we use it most of the year. Import java.util, short for utility, .wildcard, or the asterisk. Okay, that grabs some extra files and folders and allows us to do some extra things. But again, beginning of the year, you don't know that yet. Okay, the next part is the skeleton, and this is required in every single program that you write in the Java language, period, without exception. Okay, First one's pretty easy, public class, and then this is where we reuse that name we just created. Now it has to match it perfectly. Spelling, capitalization, punctuation, any special characters of which there's only the underscore. Okay, so you see right here, no error. If I make any typo, now the line errors. So it has to match it perfectly without the .java extension. Okay, I open up a pair of curly brackets, and inside, this is where I make my method. Now this one is a little bit longer. Public, static, void, main, and then in parentheses, string args, short for arguments. And then I open a second pair of brackets. Okay? That's the skeleton, okay? Inside that is where you're going to add your custom code. And it'll get more complex and we'll make more methods as the year goes on, but that's essentially what every program is going to look like. I'll go ahead and finish off hello world. System.out.print. Hello world. Ending with the semicolon. Okay? So what you're looking at on screen right now is the entire program. If I hit run, it will execute the code. There you go. My terminal window pops up. Hello world. Exactly as I told it to. Okay? That's how you make a program. And now before I get out of here, I also want to let you know about the dark mode because it's probably the most, at least the top 3 most asked questions at the beginning of the year. How do I get this? Let me show you. I go over here to tools and I drop all the way down to options. That brings up a new window. I jump over here to fonts and colors. Here is your custom database, okay? If you want to, there are literally hundreds of settings that you can go and customize, okay? But let me caution you. I'm grading your code on your machine, so it has to be legible, okay? I like heavy metal music as much as the next person. I don't want to read code written in that heavy metal hen scratch, okay? What I would recommend you do before you ever go editing anything custom is you jump up here. These are profiles. They're preset. You can go to the default NetBeans, very simplistic. City lights, black background with green, yellow, and red. Or my personal preference that I'm using today is called Norway. Okay? From there, you can edit a few other things if you wish. Okay? There are some websites out there that allow you to download profiles for this. If I can find the links to them, I'll put them in the description of this video. But that's how you dark mode. Okay? Save it, whatever you want, and there's that. Hope we all have a great year. I look forward to working with you all, and that's it.